What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Simba Sports Hub, man, where we talk all things Washington Commanders football. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is our official, well, not official, but this is another mock draft. Mock draft 4.0 is upon us. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Mock draft 4.0 is here, y'all. I know it's been a while. I know the last draft I did, mock draft I did, what was last Monday. What up, Kim? What up, Kim? What it do? What it do? What it do? So your boy is here now, and we are going to go over our mock draft 4.0. We're gonna get a little. We're gonna try to get a little spicy with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do some. Like, let's just look at some hypothetical moments, right? Let's look at some hypothetical moments. But before we get into the mock draft. I have not dropped a video on current news about the Washington Commanders. I'm sorry, been a little busy. Your boy been just a little bit busy. My bad, my bad. But I just wanted to catch up on some news that's been dropped. I haven't put videos out. I apologize, y'all. It is what it is. But before we get into mock draft, let's go over some recent updates. We know that right now it's the NFL Combine week. GMs are in Indianapolis, agents are in Indianapolis. We got some players that's probably in Indianapolis trying to will and deal. They contract extensions, they talking to their agents while they up in the because you're not supposed to be discussing contracts and all that. But we all know the rule of thumb that, hey man, a lot of willing and dealing goes on at the NFL Combine for current players and for future drafted players. That's just how this whole shindig kind of gets down. And I know a lot of people talking about, man, what's the purpose of the NFL Draft Combine? Top players don't perform. They choose to do some drills and they choose not to. We already know that Mendoza is not throwing at the combine. So yeah, it's a little, but we know what a lot of the real meaning is. This is the cover up. But behind that cover up of NFL Combine, we got, all the willing and dealing that's going on. You're going to soon see when it's, the tampering phase is a full go. You're gonna see a lot of deals, verbal deals getting announced. That stuff ain't getting, signed. They not discussing, future contracts and trades and things of that nature the day before or the day of, all the way, once the tampering, phase kicks off. This stuff is going on from the NFL Combine, all the way up to the new league year. And then once the tampering starts to kick off. So again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's catch up real quick. All right, I think one of the big announcements that we, can go over is the Commanders have reached an agreement with Andrew Wiley on a 2-year, $7.5 million extension. So we get Andrew Wiley, who was a former starter for us and then converted into a rotational backup player. You get what I'm saying? So it's good to see him, back with the mob. I think he is a serviceable backup that can come in and help us out. And God forbid any injuries, which we didn't really have like too many injuries going across the O line. But Andrew Wiley is a serviceable, experienced vet that can play right tackle, left tackle, all guard positions. Shit, he might can even be put at goddamn center. But it's good to get him back on the mob. So that's some good that's some good news to see. And other news, Zach Ertz is showing some of his road to recovery. As he gears up and to get ready for the 2027 season. I mean 2026 season, my bad. After tearing his ACL, of course. But, we know the big question is he's a free agent. He's not, linked to the Washington Commanders no more. So do we get him back? Do we bring him back to the mob? Do we sign him back to a contract, 1-year deal? Reports is that he will be ready by week 1 or week 2 of the NFL season. That's supposed to be said, right? You want your free agent, the guy, whether it be back with us, whether it be with another team. Yeah, all signs are pointing to this guy being back, by week 1. That's good news. That's good news. So again, prayers up to a speedy recovery for Zach Ertz. If he returns back to the team, so be it. If he don't, wish him nothing but the best in where he goes. All right, what we got next? Sorry, Miss Jackson. Mama Jackson had to come out and speak against some reporting that was done by local reporter John Keim. I think it was John Keim. Yeah, Keim, whatever his last name is. And talking to what we thought was one of, I want that Titans tight end. Okay, we're gonna get into it. Yo, what's up? Adam Peters had his press conference and said that they aren't closing the door on Zach Ertz. Right, Cam, and that's why I said he's on track to be ready for week 1. So he's not 100% off the board as a potential tight end, coming back to the mob. So that could potentially fill a role of, a positional need that we got. But Mama Jackson had to come out real quick and say about Taylor Kelly, who was speaking about Jaden Daniels and training and all these things back out in California. Hey, Slim, this is not his QB coach. That's what Mama Jackson said, Slim. So we can't always feed into, certain reports that come out. And I don't think this is nothing against John Keim or anything like that. But I don't know where this is going to go. But it is what it is. Like, we ain't over here, we ain't about to get into too many of the semantics that's going on. I mean, Jaden do need to add more weight. Dude gets hurt too much. Nah, for real. Like what he said wasn't 100% wrong, but I don't think that it's the right source, if that makes sense. I don't think it's the right source. So, yes, does he need to add a little bit more weight? Yeah, for sure. And that was already spoken about once we drafted him, that it's going to be a progression. Not a 1 to 2 year progression. It's going to be throughout his NFL career that he's going to continue to try to bulk up, get bigger, and add more weight to withstand the punishment that NFL quarterbacks take. John Keim is a legend. It's clear from the interview that Porter has done some work with JD. Nah, I think that was his high school coach, from what Mama Jackson said. That was his quarterback coach in high school, and probably there was conversation. I don't think that this is false reporting by John by any way, shape, or form. All I'm simply saying is that Mama Jackson coming out talking about Kelly don't know, Taylor don't know what's going on. Taylor is not on the insides of what the offseason program for JD5 right now is. That's all. Nothing against John at all. It was also acknowledged in his interview that he wasn't his regular coach. Exactly. There you go. So, I'm just talking about what Mama Jackson said. I ain't saying that he didn't speak to it. I'm just going over what was said by Mama Jackson. That's all. Mama Jackson said he ain't it. He ain't our guy right now. So take it with a grain of salt. That's all. Peters was asked about Brian. Clap, what it do, my guy? Appreciate everybody that's tuning in on YouTube and on TikTok right now. Appreciate it. Also acknowledged in his interview that Peters was asked about Brian Ayuk, but couldn't say much because he's still under contract. Cam, yeah, and for those that are heavy for the Brandon Ayuk coming to Washington, D.C. to pair back up with JD5, we got to wait until we see him even get released or traded. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things can happen. We ain't behind the scenes with AP and John Lynch, so we don't know what discussions are being had. So, again, yeah, he can't speak too much to it. So, all right, I think that was it. Oh, also, we lost our passing game coordinator, Brian Johnson, to the coaching staff of the Los Angeles Rams. Wish him nothing but the best. And then we also heard from Ian Rappaport that there is a potential tag coming up right now. What's up, dude? All season, let's go. Yes, get it. Let's sir. Ayuk is washed. He got too much going on in his personal life. Hope he gets it together, though. Clap, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. I don't know if this is all a stunt for him to get released and partner up with his best friend, JD5. But if she ain't quoted, what you mean by that, Ty? But it is been reported that Kyle Pitts will be getting franchise tagged in hopes to work out a future deal with the Atlanta Falcons. So for right now, it seems as if Kyle Pitts will be staying in Atlanta. So that's one tight end off the board as far as free agent tight ends. Now, I cannot pronounce his first and last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. The tight end from the Tennessee Titans has now been attached to the Washington Commanders along with Isaiah Likely, with a big discussion. If y'all ain't seen my last TikTok and my last YouTube short, I kind of asked, who do you want? Are you a Kyle Pitts fan? Are you Isaiah Likely? Now we can remove Kyle Pitts from the scenario for right now and look at Isaiah Likely and the tight end from the, Likely greater than Pitts. I know Clap would say that. Clap would say that. Clap is a Baltimore Ravens fan. So yeah, I get it. Glad Andrew Wiley is back. Me too. I think he's going to be a serviceable backup for us without a doubt. All right, y'all. this is what we all came here for. It's time to get into the mock draft simulator. Y'all already know it's mock draft time. This is mock draft 4.0. Likely is going to get paid a lot given the Titan who's still super young. Actually, the tight end for Titans, I think he's 27, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all can fact check me on that. Likely is a dog. I was mad when they extended Mark Andrews. Yeah. But y'all known for grooming tight ends, Clap. Y'all known for getting a little tight end. Oh, he's 25? Oh, I thought he was 26 or 27. My bad. Likely not going nowhere. Shout out to little bro in the building. D-Nail, what it do, bro, D? All right. So, like I said, also, everybody that's tuned in on TikTok, double tap that screen, y'all. Let's try to run this to 1K likes. Let's get it to 1K likes. Everybody that's tuned in on the YouTube channel, if you new, welcome to Simple Sports Hub. Please hit that follow button, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. My bad. See, I get the two mixed up. My bad, y'all. Dual screen streaming is not for everybody. It takes pride. It takes repetition. All right. I would take Love or Downs or even Bane because those should be your best players on your board. Cam, you're not wrong about that. My top three guys, as we all know, Bailey, Bane, and Caleb Downs. I am not looking to take a running back in the top 10. I'm not looking to take a running back. If we can capitalize in free agency and address the major issues for our team, which is our defensive side, I'm not mad at taking a Love. If we can do that on the defensive side in the free agency and attack and get some guys in. Also, let me update this goal counter on, TikTok, because we have already hit 1250. So let's try to run it up to we're gonna set it up to 1,300. We're gonna set it up to a big month. Let's get to 1,300 followers on the TikTok. Appreciate it. I'm a firm believer if we cannot address everything in free agency for the defensive side of the football, I'm going defense in the draft with the number 7, with the 7th overall pick. That's just me, y'all. That's not saying that Love is not a top talented guy, but if we don't even pick a running back, pick up a running back in free agency, I'm not looking Love way right now. That's just me. I think that we got free agency. You got about potentially 3 running backs that you can get to come and pair with, Lil Bill, and you can bring back Rodriguez, on a, little 2-year deal. But again, if it's here, we'll address it. We'll see how the board, how favorable the board is to us at that given time. The last couple of mock drafts, we did not go running back at 7. We've traded back if that is the case. So again, like I say, Bailey, Bane, Caleb Downs, those are my top 3 at number 7. We can look at a Carnell Tate, a Sony Styles, Mazor, whatever his first name is, Delane, whatever. Maybe we trade down to get more picks and try to trade back in the first round. That could be possible. Is this draft class for 2026 got the talent that makes a team want to jump up in front of 2 to 3 teams to go and get a guy that they want? A lot of the analysts, a lot of the experts are saying that this ain't that type of draft class where you might see, but we've always seen somebody jump up, maybe not to the top 10. That's been few in the last 5 years, I think. But within some teams have traded up or traded back into the first round to get a guy that they want. So, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what that look like. We're gonna see how that pans out. But let's get into it. I'm only doing 6 rounds, y'all. As I keep saying, y'all probably won't see me do a full 7th round until after the combine, maybe. Also, I will be doing a full free agency. AP type, will and deal. Well, I'll go to a website that they got out right now that let you do the full, restructuring contracts and cutting players. It's just like a full GM off-season plan, and we're gonna do that. I'm probably gonna fit that in next week after the combine. We can look into that, and maybe I'll do a stream with that application to that website. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna enter the draft. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I know some at work, some on lunch break, so I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time. I know y'all got better things to do to cool it with Simba. But all right, let's get into it. We're gonna start the draft. Let's go. All right. So, as expected, you got Jeremiah Love here. You got Sonny Styles. You got Makai Lemon. You got Mazo Delane. You got some pretty good talented guys here at number 7. We see Arvell Reese went number 6 to Cleveland. Caleb Downs went number 5 to New York. I don't like that as a NFC East rival. I don't like them getting Caleb. Carnell Tate, number 4 to the Tennessee Titans. That's not a bad pick. They need somebody to go oppo, or they need a number 1 receiver. David Bailey to Arizona. Could never go wrong with, fixing your defense first. Ruben Bain, number 2. And we know Mendoza is probably the pick of the number 1 pick going into the 2026 draft. All right, so we got 4 trade options here. You got the New York Jets trying to trade back up from 16. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got Cleveland Browns. We got the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not trading back past 15. That's just me. So it looks like we are going to be staying still here at 7. And I'm seeing some Styles. Y'all throw some ideas out there. I got Styles or Delane. We got, who else we got? I already heard somebody say Jeremiah Love. Do we go linebacker? Do we go Delane? There's a chance we take a receiver, especially if all the defensive ends go before our picks. But do we take a Makai Lemon at 7? And I'm only saying that's because, in my firm belief, that I'm not saying that he is not a suitable, player and won't be a premier number 1. But I think we have a Lemon on our team already in Terry McLaurin. I think what Makai Lemon can do, I think Terry McLaurin already does for us. So do we want 2 of the same style type of receivers? Or do we want the big body receiver like if Carnell Tate was here, a Malachi Fields, you got what's the other dude name? Jacoby Lane out of USC. There are multiple guys that we can really look at, y'all. Receiver is super deep in this class. We can get one in a good one in third round. You ain't lying. I agree with you on that. Go Delaney. We need defense. So, all right, if we're looking at Styles and Delaney, cool, right? We're looking at Styles, we're looking at Delaney, but what do we address linebacker or do we address the cornerback position? We know that we are in a stacked NFC East wide receiver core group, and those are 6 games that we got to, except for the Giants, we don't know if they go receiver or not. But right now, you got Malik Nabers, you got George Pickens, who is potentially looking to get franchise tagged or a deal done with Dallas, along with his, with CeeDee Lamb, and then you got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. So is this where we take you? We got Trey Amos coming back off an injury, who looked pretty good, up until his injury, except for him getting ran over by Love. No hate given. You know what I'm saying? No, it is what it is. It happened. So you got Trey on one side. There has been talk about Mike Sanders. Is he a slot guy? Is he an outside corner? He didn't have the best season last season, inside or outside. He did have the 4 picks, so I do give him credit for that. In a bad season that we had. Let's see, Delaney should be the pick. Styles and Jones defense is the fit. Is the fit though? I agree with you. I am Lars. Take Manzoor, imagine Trey Amos, and Manzoor Delaney on the outside. That is true. Styles has versatility, which Jones conveys. And that's another thing. Sonny Styles fits the Daronte Jones, what we've seen from some of his, people that he's been under. He fits that style of he fits out 6'4", 235. He might be running anywhere from a 4.5 or low. He's converted safety. The versatility is there. He could probably play outside. He could probably be a blitzer for us. He can create immediate, impact for our defense. So what do we do? Do we go corner? Do we go linebacker? I like Sonny Styles. I'm not going to lie. I like Sonny Styles over Mansour. Like, you can't teach height and you can't teach speed. I'm sorry. He's 21, 243. It's not official right now. They'll probably do their weigh-ins and all that Thursday or something like that. But 6'4", 6'5", 243, can move sideline to sideline. That's one of the big concerns that we had with Bobby Wagner. I know we got Jordan McGee, we got Kane. There's a potential that we might get one of the, linebackers in free agency. you might be right, Cameron. I feel like they are going to address linebacker and free agency, and I agree with that. I agree with that. So you said trade back to 12. I'm not trading back with Dallas. They got the 12th pick, right? Hell nah, we ain't trading back with the ops. We ain't trading back with the ops. Nah, Hobbs, like nah, I'm not trading back with Dallas. No. I'm not giving them ammo to go up and get somebody that they may potentially want that's going to affect us. Nah, you said 13. Okay, all right, my bad, Hobbs. I knew you wasn't going to trade with the ops like that. You said 13. 13. All right, let's look at 13. Who's at 13? The Los Angeles Rams. Are they even interested? They're not even interested in trading up. They want to stay at 13. And I said this might be the draft where you don't get a lot of, major jumps from, a mid-tier pick to a top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying? It just may not happen that way. So we ain't going to force the trade. We ain't going to force a trade with a team that ain't interested. If that makes sense. I don't think we're going to. So Sony Styles, 87, 87 grade for run defense, 87 grade for defense, and a pass rush of a 70. Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. And I think both of them is a good fit for that man coverage screen. Like that jumps off the radar to me. Him being in man coverage, that's what we need. We need somebody that's going to be able to stick to these receivers that's in the league. We don't know what's going to happen to Marshawn. I don't know if y'all watched the presser of AP speaking at the combine. They're still considering the option of Marshawn Lattimore. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Are we going to get that 18 mil freed up? Are they going to rock with him coming back? But when is he going to return? What's the potential return for him? He got the court case, the gun charge on his head right now. So there's a lot to be discussed. I think we're going to let him go. I think Marshawn is gone. I don't think we're going to see him back. Styles might be over Kane though, for sure. I don't think you can pass up on a Sony Styles, y'all. I just don't think so. Y'all let me know. Styles is a day one starter. I disagree. No. Styles is a day one. Yeah. He's day one for sure. He's day one for yeah. He's definitely going to start day one for me. Wait, would you trade back to 16 to the Jets? 16 to the Jets. They got to be giving me a lot to trade back that far. Like I want their second round pick. I want a third, and I want something for 2027 as well. I would want to see. Look, I would want a third. I'm not gonna lie. I would make a trade back. Do y'all want to trade back that far? Let's get more value for the number 7 pick. J Love all day. J Love. Williams say J Love on YouTube say, hey, let's go J Love. I don't know about taking a running back at 7, y'all. And this, please don't get mad at Simba, man, because I just don't value a running back at the top 10 position. I'm not saying Love is not it, but I don't see it, y'all. I really don't. Hold on, I gotta adjust myself. Your boy's still in a brace. If we are having 3 linebackers on the field and our defense, then pick Styles. McGee Styles will be nasty, and Jones defense, yes, 2 guys that can run sideline to sideline. We still got to see where McGee's coverage, skills lie. Ken Norton Jr., we already know he's the guru of linebacker coaches in the NFL. Is that the matchup that we're going to see? And then you still got Frankie Louvu. Don't trade back, take Styles. Hey, I'm voting for taking Sony Styles right here, y'all. What y'all say? We did some trades in the last mock draft. Let's stay put again, but we ain't got to end all be all right here. You know what I'm saying? Go Styles. I see Styles. All right, we're going to go Styles. But before I trade for Styles, y'all, do y'all like trading up from 3 right now? Because I can slow it down. Pause. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to take Styles first, though. And then we're going to look at how the draft pay out. Because I want to trade back up. Do y'all want to trade back up? If you take Styles, cut Louvu. Dr. Malika, HTTC in the building. Let's get it. Thank you so much. What it do, girl? With the Sent Heart Me. Thank you so much. Shout out to Doc in the building. Appreciate all the support. Shutdown Corner, Delaney. Ooh, y'all, we got a... It's a divide going on in the Commanders, fan base. Some people want us to go cornerback. Some people want us to go Sony Styles. We did take Mansour in the last mock draft. And I'm not comparing like, all right, just we took him last. We can take him again. I don't give a fuck. I want to see Louisville in this defense though. Hey y'all, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. But I'm thinking we're gonna go Styles here, y'all. We're gonna go Styles here. And I think that this still is a heavy cornerback class as well. You can still find somebody in the third round, trade up to the second round, go get you a guy like I forgot his last name, but the cornerback out of Ohio State. You got Thaddeus Dixon out of North Carolina. You got Keontae Scott out of Miami. There's some options out there. Our cornerbacks becomes better with Styles. That's a fair take. That's a fair take. All right. I think we're gonna go Styles right here. We're gonna go Styles right here. Boom. All right. Woo. All right. But let's get a little different. Let's trade. How y'all like about trading back up into the first round? Pons and Indiana too. I'm not against Pons, but he's another Mike Sainristil. The height factor concerns me about Pons. And I'm not saying that height matters to me. You can't teach height, you can't teach speed. I'm a firm believer in that. And I can teach you how to play man defense. Yeah, you might not get it the first time, but we got a Mike Sainristil who's a little undersized at corner. You got AJ Harris is my guy at corner. Okay. He also probably doesn't last until 71. Who don't last until 71? So y'all want to trade up? Y'all want to trade up into like the second round or see what's out there as far as first round? Pons? I don't know, man. Call me. I don't like short corners. I want 6 feet and above. Please don't get mad at me. That's just my perf. Trade up. All right, so we got 71. What y'all want to trade up to? We want to give up some of these 2027 picks, and maybe these one of these late picks. One of these late picks. Trade up. Who we trading with, and who we trying to go after though? Do we trade up into the early in the second round, mid second round, so we don't have to give up too much value, or do we trade up back up into the first round? We just seen it done before. Dwayne Haskins, Montez Sweat. Who we trade up for though? Who we trade up with? Who do we go? Who we try to get one of these late picks like Seattle? We gonna get Seattle pick. Can we see the players available? Yes, sir. Let's see. Can they show why they don't show the players? They don't show the players right here. That's the only thing I don't like. Because it's not our pick. So we can't see the players right now, all because of us looking to trade right now, and we paused the draft. I can't even see it even if I don't unpause it. So this is where we at. My bad. My apologies. We should have looked before I hit go. But I said we trade up to early second. Trade up with the Jets. So for 33. Let's see. Jets for 33. 71. What can we do to make this deal happen? Trade would not be accepted. We are going to have to give up. We're going to have to give up that second next year. Do we really want to give up a second next year and maybe a fifth that can get it done, or maybe a sixth? I think we can get it done right here with a second and the third this year and a second next year. So, but we're gonna try to hold on to that. Let's do a second. They don't even want our second and our fifth. Let's do a second and a third and 145. Nah, they don't want that. They want that second round pick. So in order to get a second round pick, we're gonna have to give up next year's second. And I know everybody's major concerns. Nah, Slim, we can't afford to give up. We need as much draft capital because we want to get young. We want to get as young as possible. But if we hit in the free agency and we hit with some of the draft picks that we do have, either be starters or it be rotational guys. I think that's shout out to the 1K likes on TikTok. Appreciate everybody's tuning in. Shout out to everybody that's on the YouTube page. Please, if you're new to the YouTube page, man, hit that subscribe button. I am trying to grow my YouTube community along with my TikTok community. So please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the YouTube channel. Also, hit that like on the live, man, so your boy can get in the algorithm a little bit. I'm just trying to tap into the algorithm. I love talking football, mainly about my Washington Commanders, but I can talk about the whole league. But all right, let's see. All right, let's get back. So let's say hypothetically we give up our second, right? Do we get a third back from them and give up a fifth? See, now they don't want that. They don't want that. They want. What about a fourth next year, right? Or do we take? If you give up a second, do we take like a later round pick from them? They don't want none of that. They don't want to trade Nathaniel. So do we really trade up? Do Rams have a second? What they asking for? Let's see, Rams. Did the Rams give up their second round pick? Let's see. They picked late. They picked late in the second round. They pick at 61. So they do got a second round. Let's see. Oh, shit. They ain't even got it up here. We got to let some picks go through. We'll have to let some picks go through to see if we... So are we more looking in the mid-tier of the second? Because to jump this far up, I'm not willing to give up a second round for next year, y'all. I'm just not. I'm not willing to give up a second for next year just to, get into the second round. I'd rather jump back into the second round. I'll jump back with the 44th. Like midway. Nah, that's still close. Oh, that's too much. Price is way too high. You need to cut it. All right, let's look. Who in the mid round that we could look? Let's look at the Panthers. They have 51. Let's try to get 51. We ain't gonna try to give. Let's try to give up. No, they want that third. I'll give up a third for next year. Can I interest them in? Nope, they don't want that. So 156 or 157, I think we can get this done. Y'all like this idea? Y'all like this idea? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. I think we can get this done, or let's try to recoup something back. And no, they don't want to give up nothing. All right, we can try to get a fifth round next year. Just to get into the mid round of the second, I think that's where we can address the safety position, cornerback. Those two positions that we can address. We can also, who did we take? We took Sony Styles. We can address pass rusher. So we got some options here. Let's see. Let's offer the trade and see what they say. All right, y'all. So we moved up. We gave up a 2027 fifth round pick. We gave up a third round pick in 2027. Got a fifth back, and we moved up to the second. All right, let's go ahead and resume. Let's resume. Let's speed this up a little bit. Let's see. We got some talent coming off the pick. Oh, my God. My safety that I want has been taken. I'm not going to lie to y'all. All right. So, here we go. We got LT Overton, who is a tween defensive pass. He's somewhat of a pass rusher. He might can play some moments in interior on the inside, moving to that 5 technique if we need him to. You got Romelio Height, who played Oppo of David Bailey. Is that Oregon tight end there? Nah, he's gone. Y'all gonna see Sadiq, or whatever his last name is, Sadiq. I think his name is Sadiq. He's gonna be gone in the first round. Late first round, maybe early second. Where did he go? I think he probably went first. Oh no, he did not go. Where the fuck is he at? Oh, here you go, right here. Yeah, Kenyon Sadiq. Yeah, he went to Chicago. Chicago taking another tight end is wild. That is absurd. I don't see why they would go there. But anywho, what corners are available? Let's look at the available corners. You got Colton Hood, who's been talked about. You got Chris Johnson, who's had like a 91 PF. I'm not mad at Chris Johnson. I know a lot of people don't know a lot about San Diego State, but we can't look at schools. We got to look at what they was able to do on the football field. Can they play football? Man coverage, 74. I like that. It's not the best. I would like a guy that can play better man than zone. That's just my personal preference. But he has a 92 coverage grade and a 91 zone coverage. So we got Chris Johnson. I like him over Chandler Rivers, who's probably 5'11". Colton Hood, he didn't have a bad season to me, but I'm just not a big fan of Colton Hood. That's just me. Call me whatever. I like Devin Moore. I like size. He's 6'2". We ain't looking at Dalen Everett. He cannot cover a man whatsoever. And I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan, and I know that. 6'3", 198. A lot of people talking about Nahshon Wright out of Chicago. That can be your neck. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. A lot of people talk, man, let's go get Nahshon Wright. Let's go get Nahshon Wright. Can Devin Moore be your Nahshon Wright? 81 run defense. He don't mind coming up and tackling. He got good coverage, good man cover, decent man coverage, decent zone coverage. Can't beat that. What about Omar Cooper? Let's go check our receivers real quick. Omar. Is he still on the board? Omar Cooper is gone. Yeah, Omar Cooper went to the Jets. Omar Cooper went to the Jets. So Omar Cooper is not on the board. Don't forget, y'all, we have not addressed the pass rusher position. We went with linebacker. I think pass rusher is a major need. And if you had to ask me, it would be Romilio Height. I'm sorry. I watched him play opposite of David Bailey, and the pressure that he was able to get, just as well and get back to the quarterback just as well as, David Bailey. He jumped off the tape just as well. I'm like, damn, who's number 9? Who the fuck number 9? I had to go really study and look at him, but he may not have a good run defense. And look, this is just my thoughts about run defense. I know we need somebody that can set the edge, but guess what? We got somebody. We got Dorance Armstrong who excelled his first year at setting the edge for us. The year before he was on his way to 10 sacks. I think that he can set the edge for us. And I think you can teach that. I think Height can be taught how to seal the edge. But I need somebody that can win on first and second down. That's just me. I need somebody that can win on first and second down. And his pass rush grade and his pass rush win rate, 22%. I don't know how you can say no to that. And I know LT Overton, but I don't see him as a premier pass rusher, y'all. That's just me. I think he's more of a tweener between playing inside and outside. I think he can rush the passer, but I need somebody that can go get the quarterback on first and second down at the snap. At the snap of the ball, I need somebody to go get the quarterback. Talking about Romilio? Oh, you talking about Height? I am Laws. What y'all got over here on YouTube? Talk to me, baby. Sorry, y'all. I got 3 monitors up running right now. I got PFF on this monitor. I got y'all. I got everything OBS and TikTok related on this monitor. My third monitor, I got the chat for YouTube up. So I'm sorry if y'all see me turn this way. I'm just trying to make sure I read chat. Try and get them there. Edge from Oklahoma, Mason Thomas. Is he still here? I think Mason got drafted already. And I like Mason Thomas. Mason Thomas went to the Cleveland Browns. But I like Mason Thomas too. I think Mason Thomas do got a quick get off. Don't get me wrong, but I think Romilio got the same type of get off. That's just me. Who say Romilio right here? 9 sacks ain't bad. 42 hurries. Hits 11. And look, he was more of an outside pass rusher. Didn't really play much in the A gap or B gap or over the tackle. He's a true pass rusher. He's going to be somebody that go get the quarterback. I think that if you can have him and be successful, I like Romilio. I'm going to rock with Romilio right here in the second round with the trade up. All right. So now we only got 145 and 186. Whew. That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. And I know everybody's asking about safety. They're about to sign JSN. Who about to sign JSN? A guy I think could be available in free agency is wide receiver Rashid from Seattle. Nah, he definitely could be. Shout out to the 2K likes on the TikTok. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. All right. One guy that's already jumping off the page to me is, and I don't know if y'all went to go watch his game, is Jalen Stroman. I really like slim game, 6'1", 6'2", in that maybe 6 feet to 6'2" area range. 201, got pretty good, run defense. Don't mind coming up to the box to make the tackle. A lot of people was questioning Quan Martin's tackling ability coming downhill and being an efficient tackler. And then he got a pretty decent, 78 coverage grade. Not the best, but it ain't too bad. I think this is something that you can grow with. But then, we got the guard position. Are we going to bring back Chris Paul? Is Brandon Coleman going to step back up and take over that left guard position? I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen at guard. But Iowa are breeders of O linemen. We know that. They are breeders in college for breeding O linemen. Uh, tight end, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not considering a tight end right now, just simply because I think we're going to go after a tight end. One of these tight ends in free agency. That's just me. All right, so we addressed linebacker. We addressed edge rusher. We're going to go cornerback. Kilgore is more of a potential, conversion to a safety type of guy because of his coverage skills not being the best, and he's more of a, run fit cornerback. So can he convert to safety because of his height? 6'1", 211. He got the size to be that free rangey safety. Last I believe Marcus may not be back next year. Marcus Mariota. Hey, if Marcus Mariota not back, I would love to have him back in the mob. But, there's guys like Tyler. You got Huntley, who was the backup for, the Baltimore Ravens. Tyrod Taylor. You got some backups out there. Trey Lance. If he want to go somewhere where he might be able to, I don't know why he would roll out. You think Owens will break out? BT get money. Nah, definitely. I'm a Tyler Owens fan. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Tyler Owens, when we drafted him, I think he was undrafted, but when we picked him up, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When we picked him up, I'm gonna be honest. I said Slim can run sideline to sideline. He ran like a 4.4 or 4.3. I wanted 6'3", don't mind tackling, physical. I wanted him to play. And what he did in preseason, I was like, hey, Slim might got something here. And I'm going to say this. Last year's tape and how he looked when he did get playing time, I am not holding nothing against nobody. Nobody played well last year. But hopefully with the philosophy of a Durante Jones, our new defensive coordinator, hopefully with, the new cornerback safety coach, hopefully they can breed and teach and preach, that versatility play that Tyler Owens could come and be our box safety. He can take a Will. I thought it was up between Will Harris and Tyler Owens going into the season. I didn't 100% solidify Will Harris as our starting, strong safety. I thought it could have been Tyler Owens. But maybe the cover skills wasn't where they wanted it to be at. Is he more just a in-box, downhill, tackler versus a coverage guy? Yet to be seen. We don't know, and he's still young. So he very well could be that guy. We don't know what Durante Jones is going to be able to come in and be able to teach and get guys. I knew DC from Capitol Heights. I know he's going to put the city on his back and turn this defense around. He's from another, Capitol Heights native right here, your boy, Simba. Yes, sir. But I'm production based. You can be from the city. You can be from Capitol Heights, where I'm born and raised. But what you going to do when because I want to win. Yeah, you my mans, from the Capitol Heights area. But Slim, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to be a dominating defense. I actually thought Will Harris played well last year. No, he did. I'm not saying Will Harris played bad. I just thought that Tyler Owens was going to. That's why I wanted to win the position. That's where I wanted to start. I don't think Will Harris played bad at all. I don't think he played that bad. I would just say that I was a Tyler Owens fan going through training camp. I was rooting for Tyler. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little biased by guys that we draft and building those guys up because we've seen so much talent leave this organization. Not be like Hall of Famers, but they go out there and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was rooting for Tyler, no doubt. Yeah, Harris is good, but he's old. We want the youth plan, and I'm with you. I'd rather take mistakes. Not saying that Will Harris made any, but I'll take mistakes by a young guy before I'll charge it up to them still developing. Now, when it comes to winning football games and losing football games, then yeah, we got a different discussion. But all right, let's get back to it. Hezekiah Maces is being talked about as one of another cornerback that's gonna be looked at. We're gonna see what he does in the combine. I think they go live Thursday or Friday. I think D-backs, is it defensive line and D-backs? Whatever lineup is. I'll be tuned in watching for a lot of the cornerbacks. But I think this is where we go safety right here. If we are 100% over with Quan Martin. But let's see what cornerbacks are left. You got Takario Davis. A lot of people. You got Damani Jackson out of Oof. Out of Alabama, I thought Dixon was still going to be here around this time, but he was more projected to be, third round, fourth round, maybe fifth round type of guy. We in the sixth, right? We're in the fifth round. Yeah, 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 yeah. He's gone already. He's gone already. Where did he go to? To the Raiders. So are we looking at corner? Or are we looking at safety? We got let's look at our safety position. Coles Wisniewski, who is a versatile guy, can play in the box, can play back, on the back end, good tackler. You got Jalen Stroman, who could play, that center field safety as well. Are we looking at safety? Or are we looking at cornerback? I feel like we don't let players develop and give up on some too early, especially when it was bad. Cam, that's been the nature of being a Washington Commanders fan, y'all. If you have a bad season, you're no longer good. If you have multiple bad seasons, you got to get the fuck up out of here immediately. Like, development isn't a thing for Washington. It's either you good or you out. It's either you great or you're out. Like, even last season, as bad as it was for everybody, you heard some ramblings. Jaden Daniels need to go, injury prone quarterback. He need to get the fuck out of here. Well, this is why we should have went with Drake May. Y'all see he in the Super Bowl. All this. Shout out to the 4K likes on TikTok. Thank y'all so much. It was so much. Like, Mike Sanders still didn't have the best year. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, oh, he need to go. He need to go. He need to go. He need to go. That is the Washington fan base. And again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I am a developer. Like, can you show me that you can? If you make some plays, that's good. If you miss some plays, I understand it, because not everybody's going to be a dominant and make every play that comes their way. No, that's not reality. That's not realistic. But that's our mentality. And if you're not playing good, you're ass. That's just the mindset. Listen, bro, people are mad about us not playing our long guys, but here's my thing. There used to be days where we got mad at our coaches for not developing the youngins and just throwing them out there. No, that's true too. I agree with you 100%. Get money, BJ. Yes, that is true. Like, develop them first and then put them out there. But if I had to ask everybody that's tuned in right now, what is the best teacher in the NFL? Is it playing? Is it sitting back there in the study room, learning the game first? And do you have that time to do that? Like, if you're a first round player, do you got time to be sitting back learning? Or is your best teacher going to be getting out there on the field, making those in-game mistakes and seeing if you can learn from it? Can you learn from those in-game mistakes? That's what it matters to me. Do you continue to be making the same mistakes over and over and over again? All right, then now we got a problem if that is the case. But if you out there and you miss a play or two, but you made 3 or 4, or like you break even and you're a young guy, I can work with that. I can build upon that. I ain't gonna just be like, nah, you're not it. But some guys in those later drafted rounds, like your maybe third round, depending on position, like where you get drafted at and what we already got in the on the roster, you might got a chance to sit back and learn and develop, like a Jordan McGee. Even though a lot of people say he should have been out there on the field, let's see what he got. I thought we were going to not put Connolly out there so early. I thought he was going to sit. But Cam, look at him getting out there and getting dog walked those 4 to 3 weeks by those legit, edge rushers. It molded him. It was like the best teacher was him being out there on the field. Did we see him making a lot of the same mistakes twice? Maybe so. But 3 or 4 times? Nah, y'all can't sit up here and say Josh Connolly made the same mistakes multiple times and like back to back throughout his whole season. Josh Connolly had some good games. He had some bad games. So it's just like, all right, as a rookie, can you look at that and say, man, I can build him into a premier right tackle. A lot of our fan base don't accept that. They don't want to believe in building. They want to win, and they want to win now. If it ain't Super Bowl, we're trash. He is going to be a very good player. He young. He only 20, and that's another thing. Age. He's 22. He's 22. And if you had to take biases aside and not just hone in on the bad games that he had, where he gave up multiple sacks and all of that, and you break down his whole game and look at all the film and look at the good plays he did make, how good he was in the run game, how good he was out in space, you're like, hey, Slim, all right, all I got to do is get you to get a little stronger, teach you how to really set that, set that anchor and, absorb that pass rush, whether it be, you can get your hands out there, and if that strength, if he builds up his strength and he get that hand out there on a pass rusher, you can neutralize him or be able to control him a lot better if you get a little bit stronger. But setting that anchor and not just automatically biting in for a speed rush, but that's what helps. When you get a little stronger and you get that hand on him, you go like, oh shit, all right, I slowed him up a little bit. But now when you ain't got all that strength that you should have at 22, and you build that up going into next season, you can get out there. All right, yeah, he gonna run me with a speed rush. Damn, I slowed him down a little bit, and then now I can, come back and that's just, some little nuances. Your boy know. Pops is an O-line coach. He taught your boy a little bit. I'm sorry. Setting that anchor is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you gonna get beat sometimes. That's like, it's some elite pass rushers out here. He got cooked by Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary. But you're going to look at Max Crosby. Max Crosby didn't pretty much do anything. He made a play or two, but it wasn't nothing like outrageous. But shout out to everybody that hit that like button. We have 4.9K likes on the TikTok. Damn, we just hit 5K. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in on YouTube. All right, now back to the draft. I'm going Jalen Stroman right here, y'all. I think the safety would be able to help us out here, and I think that we can address cornerback in the free agency. If you got Eric Stokes, you got Greg Newsome, you got Tariq Woolen that's going to be out there. I think we can address that. All right, so now here we are with our last pick. We got some tight ends right here, and again, I know I said I wasn't going to address tight end. Bishop Fitzgerald. Oh my God, a lot of people not talking about this guy. You talking about a thumper, somebody that's willing to come in and make tackles? Bishop Fitzgerald, if y'all watch his tape at USC, yeah, he don't mind coming down to tackle. And he can play over top. I got respect for the Commanders. Appreciate you, Commanders. Carolina Panthers fan. Appreciate you tuning in, my guy. But Bishop Fitzgerald is not bad. I know we just drafted a safety. Is there any cornerback? I'm going to be honest with y'all. We got Logan Jones right here. Getting some talk as far as like replacing, Biotis at center. What else we got? We got Cole Wisniewski, who is a versatile safety linebacker who can come down and play in the box. Might be a special team as well. You got Tanner, and I know we said we was going to address that in free agency with Isaiah Likely or Youngin out of Tennessee, but you cannot teach 6'7", 250. Great, target for Jaden Daniels. Who else we got? You got Xavier Harris, 6'7" interior D tackle, for, out of Ole Miss, 6'8", 330. I know a lot of his issues and him developing, we talking about development, right? Is his coming off the ball. He exposes his chest way too much. But you 6'8". All right, I understand. But can I work on your pad level? Can I work on you firing off the ball, staying low as possible, and being somebody that can help us in the interior rush? Being a rotational guy after Johnny Newton. We don't know what we're going to do with Deron Payne. We heard AP speak about not extending his contract. So is it a trade? Is it a release? We don't know. But we're going to rock with, he ain't going nowhere. So it's going to be Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, Johnny Newton. Do we need to get another rotational guy? Do we need to really go out the corner? I ain't going to lie to y'all. I got to do some more homework on a lot of these guys like a Davon Marshall, 5'11". Yeah, I know how I feel about height. I want somebody. I watched Dominic Jackson only because he's in the SEC, and I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan. I know what he can do. Or do we go with another safety? Do we continue to rebuild out that safety room? DeMonte Capehart. 6'5", 315. Can he be a rotational guy? These are the things that now, once you get into those later, like, are we looking for positional fillers? Are we looking for rotational guys, special teams guys, any receivers, potential, I don't know. I don't know how we can look at that, y'all. Do we need another running back? Romaine Hemby. Another pass rusher, TJ Guy. Kobe Young, receiver. Caleb Douglas. Both 6'4", 6'5" receivers right here. What we got? Let me see. Is he still here? And we talking about a replacement. And like again, I just say you can't. Eric Gentry. 6'6", 225 linebacker. I talk about you cannot teach height. I seen him in the Senior Bowl, and I'm like, God damn, Slim. Like, he stands, he's like you can see him in the middle of the field. You can see him at the linebacker. Made a few little plays in practice. Didn't really see him do much in the game. But that's one of the guys that, you know, can you build? Can you mold him into something? Can you mold him into a pass rusher? Can you mold him into a stand-up linebacker who can drop back into those flats and, and cover the flats for us? Being 6'6", forcing quarterbacks to have to throw the ball around you or over top of you. We gotta see. We gotta see, y'all. But can you build that? With Ken Norton Jr., can you build that up? Can you build that up? So who y'all thinking? Tight end, safety, or linebacker, or do we address the offensive need? Or D tackle? Daquan Wright out of Ole Miss, another receiving tight end that can work the middle of the field. Who y'all like? Who y'all like right here? This would be y'all pick. I know y'all like, dang, nah, nigga, you waited to the last round to make all the picks. All right, if I had to guess and I had to rock with it, I'm gonna go with interior line, and I'm gonna go with DeMonte Capehart. That's what I'm gonna go with. All right, let's see what we got, y'all. This is the end of the draft. Oh, well, the end of our picks, I'll say. Let's see what they graded us, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we got a little measly little B+. That ain't bad, y'all. It ain't bad. I'm sweating a little bit. I know I did a lot of yapping, but it ain't bad, y'all. We addressed some key positions on defense. We addressed the linebacker. We addressed the edge rusher, safety position, and we got us an interior D lineman. I think this is pretty good for what. And we got younger. We got a lot younger. Sonny Styles young, Romilio Height young, Jalen Stroman young. Like, we got some young guys coming in that can help us out. And I think that's what we need. We want to continue to see what AP does, cook up as we go through, the combine. Combine starts Thursday. I believe it starts with the D-line and linebackers, I believe. I will be live again next week after the draft and seeing some guys' 40s because, again, that's going to change a lot of people's mind. Whoever run them 4.4s, them 4.3s, that's going to move a lot of guys up that, a lot of people's draft boards. And I'm talking about GMs. Speed kills. You can't teach it. I know a lot of guys in the NFL are fast, but that's just what it is right now. But, hey, this is Mock Draft 4.0. We got a B+. We went with Sonny Styles. We traded up to the second round, got Romilio Height, pass rusher out of Texas Tech, Jalen Stroman out of Notre Dame, and DeMonte Capehart out of Clemson. Y'all let me know, comments, man, what y'all think about this draft. I appreciate y'all tuning in for 4.0. Like I said, next week, I'm going to try to fit in a GM stream where we're going to go down to GM. We're going to go down to GM little role. I found the little application. Shout out to, who did I find this with? I can't think of his name. But shout out to, I see a lot of people on Twitter and everybody using this application. And we're going to use it too. We're going to do that Mock Draft 5.0. So we're gonna have I'll catch y'all next week. I'll catch y'all up out of here.